that match at Wembley. Gascoigne in the team, which showed 7 changes from the side that played San Marino back in November. The opponents Denmark, the first match for new coach Venables, and our commentary team Trevor Brooking and John Motson.
Curiosity may have killed the cat, but it certainly brought Wembley to life as England start a new era. A crowd of over 70,000 for Terry Venables' first match in charge, and in this intoxicating atmosphere they're hoping to sample a fresh sparkling wine. Darren Anderton, signed by Venables for Tottenham, winning his first cap. A mature vintage bottled up for too long, Peter Beardsley of Newcastle, winning his 50th cap at the age of 33 after being off the international scene for nearly 3 years. And an unpredictable cocktail, the mercurial Paul Gascoigne, past fit after suffering bruised ribs on Sunday, who under Venables at Spurs experienced one of his best moments and one of his worst on this Wembley pitch. Well, the 4 survivors from Graham Taylor's last team are goalkeeper Seaman, Paul Ince, Gary Pallister and David Platt, restored to the captaincy. The 7 who come in include 2 new caps, Anderton and number 3 Graham Lasso, one of 4 Blackburn players in the 16 tonight. So it's an imaginative selection. How do you think they'll play, Trevor Brooking?
Well, I don't think there's too many problems with a fairly straightforward flat-back 4. It's in midfield where Terry Venables is looking for a more flexible system. Paul Ince being the central, more holding role. Either side of him, Platt and Gascoigne, and they've given a bit more width either side as well as Beardsley and Anderton, with Alan Shearer starting off up front, but hoping to get plenty of support from that midfield.
Well, Denmark have 3 players who earn their living here in England. Schmeichel of Manchester United in goal, number 5 Kjellberg, the Chelsea defender, and at number 7 John Jensen of Arsenal. Both the Laudrup brothers are there. Michael, who made his peace with the coach after missing the 1992 European Championship triumph. What do you make of the Danes then?
Well, they like to be very much a counter-attacking side. When we won the European Championship, they definitely sort of like to bring people and sort of the opposition onto them and then break from there. The 2 Laudrup brothers in particular, 10 and 11, are the 2 danger men.
And the first task for Terry Venables is to get to his seat. He's surrounded by photographers. The referee tonight is Jaap Ulenberg of Holland, who has refereed a Denmark-England match before in Copenhagen 5 years ago. Well, Wembley is absolutely simmering with anticipation here. Let's hope that the new England, the Venables England, can live up to the expectation. Darren Anderton, wearing number 11, starts on the right. And what they're looking for is plenty of movement. But it shouldn't be underestimated, the threat of the Danish challenge, because they've got some very good players. Here's Detlefsen, the new cap, playing at left back. And that's Brian Laudrup pushing on, number 11. Henrik Larsson, number 6. There goes Shearer for England. Number 3, Reaper, went to mark him. Shearer the furthest forward, it looks.
It's going to be important because they've got a sweeper behind his marker right as well, that those midfield players from England do get up and join him and don't leave him too isolated.
Lasso forward early on. Went for the free kick, the obstruction given. The new boy was blocked off, and Denmark concede a free kick. Graham Lasso getting right into the thick of it there. Now then, Platt and Shearer lining up by the penalty spot, and being joined now there by Tony Adams, number 5. The flag was up anyway. Presumably there was an offside in there.
You always have a look at free kicks because Terry Venables was so renowned for working on the training pitch. That one with a cluster of a quartet of England players near the penalty spot, all trying to break off and lose their markers from there, but they were called offside.
This is Jensen. Phil Fort on the right, very dangerous. And he's got good support over there too. And that's Ben Christensen coming in, number 9. David Platt, who got back for England, and he certainly carried the ball across his own penalty area there.
It's a marvellous block, though, initially by Tony Adams, and then it broke for David Platt. There was a bit of a mix-up, but more than anything, David Platt there helping out defensively. But I think if we get a chance to see the replay, that definitely would have well done to Tony Adams.
Here's Michael Laudrup, definitely playing deeper than his brother in the Danish system. This is Reaper. And it's forward by Olsen, and that's offside on the right-hand side. Vilfort.
I would think Tony Adams so close, of course, to the captaincy, but probably the first choice of the central defenders. Is matured enormously the last couple of years as an international player, and a magnificent block there from the shot.
Michael Laudrup. So it's a free kick to England, taken by Adams. This is Gascoigne. Now Ince. Anderton. Gascoigne again. Beardsley. Oh, and Gascoigne! Good save, Michael Beardsley!
Well, great save by Schmeichel, but superb play by Paul Gascoigne. Trying to lift it over Schmeichel, but this is the sort of adaptable midfield play. Anderton laying it off to Gascoigne, Beardsley coming to join, releasing it at the perfect moment. Olsen's caught the wrong side. He tries to just lift it over those legs. The Schmeichel, a great save, and then Beardsley just wide.
Yes, it was good stuff by Gascoigne. Twice involved in the move, and as you said, Peter Schmeichel, the Manchester United goalkeeper, had to be at his best here. But it's Anderton now. David Platt. Oh, Schmeichel again.
Well, England players would have been encouraged by those two near misses. And that second one, Platt definitely onside. You see Anderton just reversing it through and just runs away. And Schmeichel again, so quick off his line. A lot of goalkeepers wouldn't have anticipated that sequel.
Flags up for offside. All the officials tonight come from Holland. In fact, the two linesmen were working last night in the under-21 match at Brentford. Over on the far side there, Gerhard Verwoerd, and on the near side his colleague Ronald Klug. They've done two matches in 2 nights. England winners 1-0 in the under-21 game, and it could have been 1-0 already here, but for Schmeichel. Here's Parker. Ince. Oh, now then, Ben Christensen. Brian Laudrup out on the right. It wasn't a good ball. He stubbed his toe, I think. Instead, it's England on the attack. Shearer. Good running by Platt. Very good running by Platt. What a fine goal. And the England captain scores the first goal of the Terry Venables era. Terrific running from midfield by David Platt, but how well found by Alan Shearer. Terry Venables has time to make a note, but they're busy celebrating.
Alan Shearer, delightful reverse ball, and just on one movement David Platt tucks it in the corner for a superb counter-attacking goal, and it was Graham Lasso who found Shearer in the first place. A superb ball out of defence, and in 2 moves it ends up in the back of the Danish net.
And for David Platt here, goal number 21 at international level on his 46th appearance. Some strike rate for a man who spent most of his time in midfield. England 1 up, that's the important thing on the night. And it may force Denmark to play a more adventurous game now. 18 minutes gone. just what was required to encourage the Wembley crowd still further. Don Howe with the hat on there, who's given valuable service under previous managers in World Cups. Brian Robson to the left as we look, now on the coaching staff, and two new physiotherapists there, Dave Butler, and on the end of the row, Alan Smith. And they've replaced Fred Street, who did 20 years, and Norman Medhurst. Denmark have pushed Henrik Larsson, number 6, into attack at the moment. Shearer just touching that on. Lars Olsen carries the ball well. Brian Laudrup, who does exactly that himself, and very dangerously too. He's got Death Lefson up on the left. Here he comes, the number 2, and Michael Laudrup's in the middle. Good covering by Parker.
Well, that was Brian Laudrup at his best, wasn't it? Picking out on the right, where he found a bit of space, coming across the pitch, just played it inside of Darren Anderton, just got caught, just ball watching slightly, and then fortunately Paul Parker blocked it at the near post. Good defending.
Well, the number 3 Reaper has come up for the corner. David Seaman, needed that. There was good flight on the ball. Good defending by Parker there. So, trying to find Shearer. Reaper with the header, Gascoigne following up, nice flick, Ince. To his right here, 2 players, Platt first. And Gascoigne sneaks in and brings a save out of Schmeichel. That was a very good position he found there, Gascoigne.
But I don't think even Paul Gascoigne realised the space and time he had. A good header, but perhaps could have even chested it down and just picked his spot.
Michael Laudrup, Brian Laudrup out right. And it's a corner. Vilfort made the extra man. And here's the moment when Gascoigne got into the advanced position, and he was onside too. So a corner to Denmark. And Kjellberg is there, and Seaman is also in the right place. That's the Chelsea player, Jakob Kjellberg, strong central defender.
This was a long way out, the header. He's got a lot of height, but no problem for David Seaman, and no problem in seeing David Seaman with that kit on either.
Beardsley. Gascoigne sizing up the options, and they've found a way through to Shearer and to Platt. Anderton is well forward here, but couldn't quite get to it. And he's done well to get back down Anderton, because Paul Parker was caught upfield. Here he is now, Parker, having joined the attack quite rightly. And now Anderton is away. Shearer in the centre, Beardsley trying to get there.
Unlucky, a great run though by Anderton. And I'm sure that pair discussing on the bench there, quite pleased. They can see that they've made 1 or 2 other chances apart from the superb goal. The control of things in midfield is just a case there of spinning out and breaking from midfield at the right time together.
Gascoigne to Lasso. Now Platt again, moving intelligently into space on the left wing. Anderton makes a run from the right. Lasso again. Oh, there was a slight deflection on that cross. Schmeichel reacted to Lasso's effort from the far side.
He's had a good half ground, Lasso. Getting forward definitely helped make the goal with a good early ball out of the defence to find Alan Shearer. And then certainly Darren Anderton, the other young player, has done it very well in his first half, but the inspirational figure for me has been the captain, David Platt. Has been magnificent apart from scoring the goal. He's got everyone organised just as Terry Venables has asked him to do. Worked very hard and used the ball superbly from midfield.
Well, it's fitting you should be talking about David Platt as the half-time whistle goes, because his goal, after 17 minutes, gives England the lead in Terry Venables' first international. And the other encouraging statistic for the new head coach has to be the crowd figure. Nearly 72,000 people here, and they've seen England lead 1-0 after a very satisfactory first half from the home point of view. Graham Lasseau, in his first international, started the move that led to England's goal. This is the view from the other side of the stadium that Terry Venables would have had, and I'm sure he would have been pleased with the mobility of Alan Shearer there, collecting the pass from Lasseau, holding off Reaper, playing it in for David Platt. Kjellberg's there too late, and Schmeichel can't get down quick enough. A fine goal for the England captain. Denmark start the second half, the defending European champions, but that doesn't give them an automatic passage to England in 1996. England as hosts are in the finals automatically, but Denmark have to play through a difficult qualifying group which includes Spain and Belgium. You'd really think, now that UEFA have made it 16 finalists, that the holders, as in the World Cup, would have an automatic passage, but it doesn't work like that. So this is a very important friendly for them in a preparatory sense. Here's John Jensen. Laudrup, and Michael Laudrup follows up, and it's cleared by Paul Parker. Corner to Denmark. Brian Laudrup goes across to take it as Terry Venables takes his seat. Two Laudrups combining. This is Michael. Now it's Henrik Larsson. Michael Laudrup again. Vilfords.
It's a weak shot from Vilfort, who had such a good European Championship a couple of years ago, but England defence pushed out well. But now not too many scares for Terry Venables.
He's having a rather easier walk to the team benches in the second half than he did before the game, when it was almost like a boxing promotion, the way they all gathered round him, the photographers and the well-wishers. So Gascoigne, Beardsley, Gascoigne just inside him, Shearer, Platt, delicate effort by the England captain.
Trying to curl, but a good build-up again in midfield. Peter Beardsley is involved in anyone on that occasion, just a knock back there, and David Platt trying to curl it inside the post, but Schmeichel always had it covered.
Just Vilfort, straight to Beardsley. Shearer looking for Platt again. This was a similar move to the goal, a bit deeper perhaps. Lasseau. Now Gascoigne. Just wanted a touch there, and it got it from Shearer. Now Ince finds Beardsley. Lasseau. Oh, and Anderton's in here. And was it over the line? No, cleared by the defender. And Darren Anderton denied on his debut.
Well, he's desperately unlucky there. Good layoff again there, and just tried to lift it over Schmeichel, and I think it clipped the woodwork on its way out.
I think it was Reaper who got it out, but certainly hard lines on the Tottenham lad. He did the right thing, didn't he, in clearing the goalkeeper.
I think the three best players were involved there, the two youngsters, Lasseau and Anderton, and in the meantime it was David Platt who laid it off in the penalty area.
Yes, it was indeed. The captain was involved again, as he has been nearly all night. Here's Michael Laudrup for Denmark. Reaper did well to get back. Here's Anderson again. There'll be no complaints about the way the two new boys have performed. Here's the other one, Graham Lasseau. Shearer's in the centre, Gascoigne is square. Now both the Laudrups forward in this attack. One on the ball. Here comes Olsen to join them. Lefson's up on the left-hand side. This is Michael Laudrup. Oh, he's found his brother, Brian Laudrup. Good save by Seaman. The first one he's really had to make. And it was critical because Brian Laudrup was clean through. Nice brotherly understanding there in the Danish attack. Michael Laudrup into Brian and Seaman right out to him.
Great save this from Seaman. Comes out very quickly and spreads himself.
That's Kilberger, number 5. Anderton did awfully well there against John Jensen. And there's a break on here. There really is. Gascoigne well forward. Well, Gascoigne took it on from Anderton. And Lars Olsen managed to get to him in the end. Anderton here plays it in for Gascoigne. And, well, you'd think the forward was favourite there, but look at the ground that Lars Olsen made up. Oh, and David Platt was hoping to come in for the flick on from Shearer.
Well, he's been crossing the ball well, Darren Anderton, all season. Whipped that one into the 6-yard box and Shearer just couldn't keep it down. I wondered why Schmeichel didn't come there.
Yes, Gascoigne is one of those who's going to be replaced now, along with Paul Ince. He acknowledges the crowd and also has a congratulatory word with Anderton as he leaves the field and with the skipper. Paul Ince also going off, and we're going to see David Batty, but also another new cap, Matthew Le Tissier of Southampton. Halfway through the second half at Wembley. England lead Denmark by 1-0. That's just glanced off the head of Gary Pallister. Here's Batty. He needs to win that. He's got a free kick.
No great change with the formation. Of course, Batty would replace Ince and do that holding job in the centre, and Le Tissier coming on for Gascoigne.
Yes, as you said, both those players had been doubtful up to this morning. Ince with a groin strain, and here's Anderton for England. Oh, and Le Tissier just come on. And there'll be no fear in his mind. He's always wanted the big stage. And he had a chance there to make an impact right away, didn't he?
Yes, I thought Anderton was going to play it square. Then he got tackled and it fell nicely for Le Tissier. Hit it well enough, just over the crossbar.
Denmark on the attack. And that was John Jensen just reminding everybody that the game is far from finished. It was one Arsenal player testing another there. Jensen, who's never scored for Arsenal, bringing a save out of David Seaman. I'm sure Terry Venables is going to give a qualified seal of approval to the crowd for their contribution tonight. And certainly for the players making their debut, the two who played throughout. Lasso, who had the ball there, and Anderton, who's made a run forward. Shearer just inside. Now Beardsley. Good play by Lasso. He's looked so comfortable. This is Brian Laudrup. Michael Laudrup makes a run through the centre. Oh, this is Fredriksson, danger! And Paul Parker saves the day for England. That was looking very much like the equaliser. Brian Laudrup makes the advance. It's the substitute, Fredriksson, who gets in, but Batty's there, and so, more emphatically, was Parker.
Well, it's Paul Parker's pace that enabled him to cover. He was actually picking up Michael Laudrup and then actually saw the opportunity to get the tackle in, and it was a vital interception because it did look as if Fredriksson was going to score.
Good play by Brian Laudrup, and Fredriksson on his first appearance, the 22-year-old, Parker just got to him. And here comes David Seaman. I must say it's nice to see Paul Parker back in the England team, Trevor. He played pretty well in the World Cup, didn't he, in 1990, and then he got injured about a year later and lost his position.
Yeah, well, for a spell as well, sometimes being the fullback, his distribution was sometimes under pressure, but I think the confidence is gleaned from Manchester United's success over the last 18 months playing in that position has deservedly given him another chance this evening, and he's taken it well, like everyone.
There's Batty, Lasso. They're chanting Terry Venables at the moment, the England supporters. There are 3 minutes to go. Denmark, though, suggest they haven't quite finished here. This is Brian Laudrup. And now it's John Jensen. Darren Anderton with the interception. Now something could happen here. He's got Beardsley free to his left. Shearer is the other way. Anderton continues his run. But Beardsley got crowded out.
It might have been better, Peter Beardsley, taking it out wide there. He went back into the defenders, but probably with a couple of minutes to go, didn't want to run too far with the ball.
They were offering 6-1 this morning, the bookmakers, against a 1-0 England win. And that's the way it's looking with 2 minutes to go. It would certainly be deemed to be a satisfactory start for the new coaching team, and for that matter for a reconstructed team on the field. By and large, England have been pretty tidy at the back. Seaman's had to make one fine save. Parker, one vital interception. Otherwise, they've kept pace with the Laudrups and so on pretty effectively. And now, in the 89th minute, David Platt still got something to offer in the way of running and encouragement. Lasso. Anderton. That was Michael Laudrup. Now then, that's going to bring Peter Schmeichel hurrying out of goal. We're into the last minute now, Trevor.
Yes, the last few seconds ticking away. Very satisfied opening performance, though. I'm sure Terry Venables will be delighted. Defensively, they've looked very tight. David Seaman just a couple of saves, but he's made them at important occasions. The two central defenders, Pallister and Adams, kept a very tight rein. And of course the two fullbacks have done well. Graham Lasso in his first game, excellent. Midfield, David Platt has been absolutely outstanding, and certainly Darren Anderton in his first game as good a debut as he could have ever hoped.
Letitia there in stoppage time. And Denmark now throwing more players forward. It's Jensen on the edge of the penalty area, the Arsenal player. Yes, and those two new caps, as you say, Lasso and Anderton, couldn't really have done more, could they?
Lasso had a big part in the goal itself, and then got forward very well on every occasion. And Anderton, superb. Terry Venables knowing all about him when he was at Spurs, and he's fulfilled all that promise this evening.
A big hug for Terry Venables from Paul Gascoigne, and applause from all round the stadium as he starts, just as Graham Taylor did, funnily enough, with a 1-0 win here at Wembley. David Platt, central to England's performance in every way. Scorer of the goal, a good captain and an inspiration right across the pitch. And Terry Venables, who said, let's get the first match out the way and then we'll see where we're going. Well, he's got a lot to consider there, much of it positive. And we did see the semblance of a new style out there tonight. And we also saw two young men make a striking impact on their first full appearance. Lasso and Anderton, two of the stars in an international which finished England 1, Denmark 0, a winning start for Mr. Venables.
Terry, congratulations. That's obviously the start you wanted.
It's exactly what we wanted. It'd be nice if we could have capitalised on one or two chances, but we're pleased enough. That's good to get a win, clean sheet, good result.
Anything in particular please you about the performance?
I thought the two new boys done particularly well, and it's always pleasing to see youngsters come into a side with that type of confidence and enthusiasm. Always they've got enthusiasm, but to put the confidence with it, it's not always easy. So I was particularly pleased. They looked like they'd played quite a few times before.
It looked like you enjoyed that.
Yeah, certainly did. It's a pity it had to end.
What did Terry Venables say to you before you went out, Darren?
Just to play my normal game, try and get an early touch if I could, just to settle myself down, obviously being nervous for my first game. And that's what I did, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Now looking forward to playing against the world champions. You've beaten the European champions.
Well, that's a long way off, you know. I've got to sort of sit down and relive the experience of today, and then get back down to earth and get on with my job.
Did you enjoy wearing that white shirt?
Oh, of course, yeah. I think I'll sleep in it tonight.
Pleased for Terry. I thought the lads played very, very well, passed the ball around well. I just hope the public realise that, you know, we have to sometimes kill the game off, keep passing it, keep the ball moving, and let them work. You know, because the more we pass it, the more they work, the more they get tired, and the more we create chances. And we done that tonight. We had a few chances myself. I thought I could have had a couple of goals. You know, I'm suffering from a bad injury, but I really enjoyed it tonight. I really enjoyed really passing about. I think we seconded each other with the ball, and it was really good.
There's an optimism, there's a fresh feeling. Everybody's enjoyed it out there tonight, not just the players, the manager, but the supporters and the press and the media as well. And if we can carry on producing performances like that and results like that, then I see no reason why we can't be a force in the European Championships. We're playing at Wembley. I've not been in an England side since I came into it back in 1989. No team has ever come to Wembley and dominated us. So therefore, it augurs well, really. In 2 years' time, when the European Championships comes along, I see no reason why we can't be contending to win that.
Is there anything that concerned you?
Not really. I thought the team played with a lot of spirit, played some good football. The second goal, I think, would have made relax us off a little bit. Back four played exceptionally well. David Seaman also out of the game for long periods and made a terrific save, very important save to keep us in front.
Your tactics obviously worked for you. What were you hoping for from that formation?
It was really, you know, not just being in set positions where defenders know they're marking and they're going to mark them, you mark them. If you can interchange and turn it round and prepare to run distances from midfield, it keeps you compact when you're defending, and also gives you a lot of mobility to make chances, which I thought we did that.
You don't build a team overnight and it's one result, but it's quite clear there's an atmosphere of excitement that we do have something that's promising times ahead.
It's promising. It's what we wanted. We wanted to have some good performances, which we had, which I was pleased about, and we got a win. And I think it was particularly pleasing to get a win. Everybody that came, they were up for it, and they got their win. And everyone who watched the game at home, I should think, happy. And there's a long way to go, but it's promising.
The Venables era starts with a win. Now impressions from this end. Jim, all good?
Well, he's doing a better job there than sitting there arguing with me, isn't he? No, much more useful and much more enjoyable. There were some very good performances tonight. I mean, the new boys, I thought both of them did exceptionally well, and we'll deal with that a little later with action. The inspiration of Platt and Beardsley. I mean, doesn't Beardsley play it beautifully? He just makes the game look so simple. He plays the ball along the floor to his own men and just the right side of them to keep possession. And we all say now, everybody's saying it now, well, we should have had Beardsley ages ago. Don't forget, Liverpool let him go, Everton let him go, not only the international manager. So that was a delight. There were some solid performances, mostly throughout the side. And the only real disappointment was Paul Gascoigne. We're still worried about his fitness, whether it's from an immediate
Well, he said on there he's carrying an injury, isn't he?
Well, yeah, but he shouldn't be playing if he's carrying an injury. Last time it's that, his weight wasn't quite right and all these kind of things. Nobody... I hope Terry is very firm about it, because he might lead him up the wrong alley. Through wanting the Gascoigne that we all know can be there, but that Gascoigne is absent at the moment. He lacks that even half a yard to get himself through.
What impressions for you today, Alan?
Yeah, I thought they were very solid defensively. It was a good start for them. I thought Adams was terrific. Lasso, great in his first international. I thought they passed and moved it well. They got the all-important goal. The only question mark for me would be the commitment to the Danes. It looked to me as though they were here for 3 or 4 days holiday, and the only drawback was they had to play the game. I think that the Germans next month will definitely be stronger opposition. But that's no fault of England. England can only go in the park and do as they did. They played the game well. Absolutely. They won the game convincingly. And as I say, it's a promising start for the manager.
The goal was a cracker, wasn't it? But it was route one, wasn't it?
It was route one. I mean, Terry promised long balls as well as short ones, and that's Lasso delivering a lovely long ball there to Shearer. Watch the neatness of this turn. And I think Alan will refer to Platt's part in it, but see the run to the left, which he makes. If he hadn't had that ball in that position, he's taking a defender right out the centre of the defence to make room for somebody else.
This is a goal from a different angle, but the passing's good, the movement's good. Shearer holds it up well, it's close to his body. The run from Platt's terrific. It's a good ball in, but the finish is absolutely magnificent because he's going away from the goals and he hits it with his left peg and gives Schmeichel no chance. Terrific goal.
Platt was faultless, wasn't he? I mean, you couldn't seem to pick a fault in his play at all tonight.
I thought he was truly inspirational as a captain, and he was up and down the pitch. He's got a terrific strike rate for England. Sometimes you would doubt his overall contribution to the game, but tonight, brilliant. This is Parker on the ball. He shows well for it. It's a great touch inside to Darren Anderton. What he does well here, he doesn't admire the pass. He goes and supports the player. A little bit of backup. There he is, a little bit of support, gets it inside, and he just passes it simple. And he did that all night. He was tireless. I thought this was a great cross into the box for Gascoigne. England tended from that side, did it too near Schmeichel. This ball in, Schmeichel's in two minds, and Gascoigne should have done better. That was a great chance. But this is a terrific pass coming up. Anderton does well to come back and wins possession. He turns and runs, and Platt, first time pass, pinpoint accuracy, plays Anderton in. And what a tackle this is. Laudrup on the attack. This is 5 minutes from time. Who's the back man here? David Platt. On the edge of his own box. Yeah. Great performance.
You mentioned the new boys, and they themselves said they enjoyed it tonight on the
interviews. Don't they look young, the new boys?
Getting younger.
Days, yeah.
But Lasso played well, and Darren Anderton had a terrific... He started a bit nervously, didn't he? But
he did indeed, just as he did for Spurs for a period when he first went there. I think, he has that the imagination. He worries about the crowd and that he's satisfying them. But in this, they forgave him. He didn't start well, but until this moment, he won the tackle, fought for it, left the Dane on the floor and said, now we're going to attack the other goal. See him flick it off with his right foot. He's nonchalant, he's stringy, but a lovely little touch. And in the end, Parker picks it up here, sets it up again for him, but that really was, that pass was obvious, and the defender looked odds-on favourite to get the ball, but no, just that snake-like foot out, that lankiness gives him just a little edge to beat defenders and leave himself with hours to cross this ball. And he tested Schmeichel at full stretch, but it wasn't quite the one that deceived him, but nevertheless quite a performance. And again, Lasso, of course, with that left foot of his, which is extremely accurate, lovely first-time ball off. Look at this magic. That was the moment where he showed completely relaxed, can't think about the crowd there.
Having a good time.
And a simple ball off. He'd forgotten the crowd. And then, of course, he deserved a goal himself. This position, a beautiful first-time ball from Platt. Look, that was nonchalant, improvisation, no time to think, is it the right thing to do, and shows what a natural footballer he is, and how he's going to be there for a long, long time to come. And of course, it was Terry got him from Portsmouth, you know, to Spurs in the first place.
Any question marks about the tactics employed tonight? Or?
No, not at all. I mean, I think he was experimenting for the first game. I don't think he'll play the same team next month against the Germans. I think he'll play more defensive. I don't know if you can play Gascoigne, Platt, Beardsley and Anderson away from home against a strong side.
Lots of touch, lots of flair, but will you get enough
You
of
only
the ball?
got Ince to win the ball there. I think you need somebody else to tighten the thing down.
What do you think about that, Jim, next time out?
Well, it will be
Batty
different.
might come into the...
Yeah, we looked at it, the team beforehand, and the point that Alan's made before you'll get too excited is very relevant. The Danes, when they're not really competing, the difference between them and what Wales will have to put up with, had to put up with against Norway. There's a team still in the World Cup fighting for their places. Danes came for a night out, get your match fee, and then go off to play for whatever teams they play for.
But there is a nice positive feel about the thing, isn't there? There's a smile on the face of English footballers. We said right at the beginning. The only one, funny enough, not smiling really is Venables, is Terry.
I know, he's concentrating
the tension
on the job.
of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, when he walked off at half-time and people said, well, he's not smiling or whatever, I mean, he's wondering what his first 2 or 3 sentences are going to be at half-time, because that's that magical moment where you either get the message across or you don't. So he's concentrating.
I think a relevant point was made there. The players seem to be enjoying themselves. You know, they went out, they enjoyed the game, they were passing it, they were moving it, big smiles on the faces. Let's hope it continues.
I think he's learned a lot from us, Des. I wonder we haven't had an offer from some...
We've taken hours with him, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. We've
Hours
done our best with the
us,
lad.
yeah.
Yes.
Now, he always gave marks out of 10 with you. I think that he would be most disappointed if you didn't mark him out of 10. We'd probably get a phone
me on
call.
the spot. Listen, I'm giving him 10 out of 10. I don't want an argument tonight, but the team, you can't give a team 10 out of 10 that only beat the Danes 1-0 tonight. And I think if we'd have had a couple more consistent performances, we'd have murdered them from the good things that we saw. And so I say we, I mean England would, with apologies. I know the Scots. Sorry. So I'm going to... You're getting me at it, aren't you? I'm going to come up with 7.5 out of 10 for that performance, beating Denmark 1-0. But lots of promise.
He would have had a row with you if he was here. There we are. Alan, did you...
Yeah, well, I think that to go and win the first game 1-0, good performance. I'll give them 8.25.
8.25, fair enough. Thanks for the moment.
Straight off to Wembley.